Hey everybody, today we're going to have some fun. I just got off the water sailing and it was an awesome day. My favorite spots, Sarasota, Florida, which is where I am right now, but also in Nashville, Mercy Priest Lake and the Hamilton Creek Marina, as well as Chicago's Montrose Harbor and Park City's Jordanelle Reservoir. So I'm going to make an interesting analogy today. I get it because I've been living it for decades, but I'm combining PR, go to market strategies to launch things and talk about things and gain visibility to sailing. Because PR people like me, pros, like skippers who drive the boats, tend to have a mother nature resiliency. And what I mean by that is mother nature, you never know what you're getting with her, right? On the water. But a PR person's day can be planned with great predictability each hour, let alone each day, though, can bring twists and turns and interview requests, and that brings all kinds of opportunities not to be missed so we can chase shiny things. But whatever Mother Nature may throw our way during a 2 to 3 hour sail, we have to be prepared. We have not figured out how to control the weather or every aspect of our day as a PR pro, but we are certainly smart enough to choose wisely where to turn the boat by determining the best tacks, i.e., tactics, and jibes, strategy, depending on where we want to go. So, the second point of how PR is like selling is, and this might be a two-part series because it's kind of long, but I think it's very cool. In PR, you pray, and in advertising, you pay. When you want to get from point A to point B in a sailboat, you pray that on that particular day, during that particular hour, the wind is in your favor to sail the fastest and the most efficient to get where you need to be in the time that you need to get there. We don't have motors on our boats. You can't pay the weather gods to turn the breeze on in our favor direction either. So use these elements to your advantage. Calculate your creativity. You don't have to pay to play as an advertiser would. It's helpful. It can help you hyper target markets, but in earned media, it's a different beast. In PR and in sailing, Mother Nature takes you there. When your story is credible, you make the most of the ride. The next way the PR is like sailing is that in PR, you keep the ship, i.e., our clients, the founders, the entrepreneurs, steady and the teams moving in the right direction. When you're sailing and facing directly into the wind, you go nowhere. That's a basic sailing 101. It's called irons. Irons is good when you want to take a break and eat a sandwich, put some sunscreen on. It's bad when you need to be somewhere or make something happen, which is often the case for PR people. When running an agency or managing clients' needs, the wind and other forces need to be on your side to keep your ship running smoothly. Consider the PR vehicles that carry your important messages to the most influential audiences. Think of the keel of the boat, the bottom, the thing that helps it stay steady and not slipping to the side. But the keel, or the part underneath the boat, is not always visible. It keeps you from sliding, like I mentioned. So who is your behind the scenes keel that keeps you upright in turbulent times? The heavy weight or ballast, no pun intended with my company name, keeps the boat steady and moving in the right direction. Who's your heavyweight? The anchor keeps you grounded. Who's your anchor? Thank these people daily. Next, PR and sailing represent teamwork at its finest. And I've seen this over and over, decade after decade. Most boats over 15 feet are best operated, but not required, with a team. At least two people until you get to about 24-foot boat, and then you kind of want 5 or 6, depending on the weather that day. Each person, when racing, has his or her role. If you're fortunate, the team understands the bigger picture, the entire team, and moves toward the common goals of safety and fun and crossing the finish line first when you can. The PR project or campaigns can't be done alone either. Each part comes together as it develops, executes, and measures those results. The boat can go fast because each team member plays a role. Time the distance to the start line before the gun goes off, steer it in heavy winds, trim sails after tacking, crank sails tighter when needed, and constantly watch for boat traffic. You cannot collide with other boats, although it happens all the time. I saw it happen today. Next is managing PR campaigns is like helming a boat. You may feel at times that you are going slow, if not backwards, in your project, but when the wind is pushing you forward, by coming from behind, pushing you forward, it does not mean that you're off course or going to go slower. It simply means that is a direction you must take at that particular moment. Even though the wind is at your back, you still face forward with your sight. That's your strategy. Don't lose sight of it on the course's finish line. Smart sailors look back to predict wind gusts and look around all the time, or velocity increases, and take advantage of them to propel them ahead of their competition. But PR pros recognize that taking time to build new relationships, to maintain existing ones, and to recalibrate a plan is part of the process for achieving results. It takes time. So, like sailing, PR efforts are intertwined with many forces to achieve success. And there's lots of people and organizations that influence a campaign, a message, or a quote to the news media. There are also many variables that influence a day of sailing. To sail well, you must consider the weather, the tides, the traffic on the water, the equipment's reliability, the boat's condition, and your team's skills, or better yet, your skills, your physicality. Like, are you in shape? Can you hike for 4 or 5 minutes at a time? In PR, stakeholders like employees and news media or investors or partners or your vendors and the community that you play in. Every time you pitch a story, you Facebook post or Instagram or link, whatever your favorite platform or channel is, or you speak publicly, right? Or you do a podcast with a host. You're telling your story and you must consider the nuances of each stakeholder. What are their needs? Why do they care? To tell a great story, as with sailing, you must always connect the dots. On the water, the sails are connected to the mast, which is connected to the hull of the boat, the bottom of the boat. This is connected to the tiller handle, to the hand that steers the boat, and the hand is connected to the eyes that are always watching out, and the compass to see which direction, by degrees, like to the minutest degree, that is connected to what we call the windex at the top of the mast to gauge that wind direction at all times. So patterns can be anticipated if the weather is checked before leaving the dock. Even though it can change, always check your weather. You don't want to be caught off guard in a squall or a thunderstorm or something that gets dangerous. When identifying, building, and telling a story, one must connect the dots to make sense, to see opportunities, and to leverage them with the most appropriate audiences. PR pros never miss a chance to tell a good story that could be perceived as elusive by others. We always connect the dots to figure out the best strategy. And like sailing and PR, you have to be curious and creative to accomplish results. When sailing, you wonder what Mother Nature will give you that day. Will it be 2, 12, or 22 knots of wind? Will there be sun or clouds? Is it clear air or low visibility, hot or cold air? In PR, you hope for a perfect storm of your key messages being conveyed at the best times to the most important audiences that hear or influence you to take action. Will your efforts result in one huge hit in the Wall Street Journal or a subtle story in the local paper? Will it take months or just days to secure interest from an editor or blogger to find your story credible? Even if your intended group doesn't show up to a speech, a panel discussion, or a launch event, digitally capture that core message and identify ways to send them to your audiences electronically and through your social networks. When you're hungry, you are curious. And when you're curious, you have creative ideas. So connect those dots and those ideas to create great stories that drive your customers, your investors, the news media, and others to help favorably change your business and your course in the next year or two. And may you find fair winds, fun seas, and satisfied journey along the way. And as we say, ahoy, matey. Hope you enjoyed this, and you'll probably be hearing a lot more about sailing in my videos. So if you got something out of this, hit the like button, subscribe, share it, and I'd love, as always, to hear your comments.